of high school students from the United States traveling to a remote tropical island as part of a class trip. The island, located far from civilization, is a paradise of lush greenery, clear blue water, and exotic wildlife. Among the students is Emma, a young woman from a wealthy family, and her best friend, Sarah, who share a love for adventure and exploration. Emma is the adventurous one, carefree and curious about the world, while Sarah is a bit more reserved and thoughtful. Their trip takes an unexpected turn when their boat, part of the class expedition, is hit by a freak storm. The students, including Emma, Sarah, and a few others, find themselves stranded on the island with no way of contacting the outside world. Their situation is dire, and they are forced to find ways to survive, relying on their instincts and the limited supplies they have with them. The group begins to explore their surroundings, trying to find food, water, and shelter. Emma and Sarah quickly realize that without the help of their teachers or the rest of the world, they will have to take charge of their own survival. However, things take a strange turn when Emma and her friend Sarah start to bond with two boys, Dean and Jared, who are also part of the group. Dean is rugged and athletic, a natural leader, while Jared is a more reserved, intelligent type with a fascination for nature and survival skills. Emma, already struggling with the isolation and fear of their situation, begins to form a complicated bond with Dean. As they work together to figure out how to survive and make the best of the circumstances, their feelings for each other start to grow. Dean, always the confident one, finds himself drawn to Emma's resilience and determination. As they continue to live on the island, their feelings deepen. Emma, who initially found solace in the company of her best friend, starts to notice the growing tension and chemistry between her and Dean. They spend more time alone, exploring the island, discussing their future, and becoming closer in ways that neither of them had anticipated. Emma starts to see a side of Dean that's sensitive and thoughtful, while Dean begins to admire Emma's strength and spirit. Their relationship, once built on necessity and survival, begins to change into something more. The island, with its beauty and serenity, becomes a backdrop for the growing attraction and emotional connection between them. But not everything on the island is as idyllic as it seems. The dangers of survival begin to weigh heavily on the group. Despite their best efforts to make do with what they have, the island proves to be unforgiving. They face shortages of food and water, and the challenges of life in a place so far from civilization start to take their toll. As the days pass, tensions rise. Emma's once carefree attitude is replaced with anxiety and fear for their future, while Dean struggles to keep the group together and maintain hope. With the island's natural hazards, a few of the group members begin to falter under the pressure, resulting in arguments, conflict, and an overall sense of unease. Eventually, as the days stretch on, the emotional and physical isolation that the group faces begins to have its effect. Emma and Dean grow closer, their initial attraction turning into something more. The island, once a beautiful paradise, starts to feel like a prison. Emma's feelings for Dean intensify, and she becomes aware of her growing dependence on him for both emotional support and survival. But despite their closeness, Emma finds herself torn between the future she once dreamed of, the need for freedom, and the connection she now shares with Dean. Their relationship turns from something simple and innocent into a tangled web of emotions, desires, and confusion. As time passes, the inevitable happens. Emma and Dean's connection deepens, and the pair of them experience a moment of passion on the island, solidifying their relationship. This, however, complicates matters. Emma begins to feel torn between the intimacy she shares with Dean and the practical concerns of survival and rescue. She finds herself questioning everything: her past, her future, and the person she is becoming in the face of these challenges. It's not just about surviving on the island anymore, it's about what she's willing to risk in order to follow her heart and maintain the bond she shares with Dean. Meanwhile, the group's struggle for survival continues to escalate. The challenges they face grow more dire, tensions within the group boil over, and it becomes clear that some are not as strong or resourceful as the others. The isolation and fear of being stranded forever begin to take a psychological toll on them all. Emma and Dean try to maintain their connection amid the growing stress, but it's not easy. Emma feels torn between her loyalty to her friend Sarah, her attraction to Dean, and her desire to escape the island. At some point, the group reaches a breaking point when a